our rich experience and leadership to articulate Africa's issue in the global arena. We offered also our candidature for the non-permanent seat at the United Nations Security Council for the period 2021-2022. We obtained the overwhelming endorsement by the African Union, which was reaffirmed during the 33rd Ordinary Session of the Assembly of Heads of State and Government that took place in Addis Ababa in February of 2020. And I am pleased to report that when elections were held in June this year, Kenya was elected as a non-permanent member of the UN Security Council for that period of 2021-2022. Being a member of the most influential body of the United Nations gives Kenya an opportunity to play a more significant role in the pursuit of peace and security. And I wish to thank the African Union for its support, as well as the many friendly nations across the world who voted for us, for this is indeed a big win for Kenya and Africa. Honorable members, I will conclude my remarks today by touching on the deliberate steps that we have taken to place Kenya on a path to a greater national unity, inclusivity, peace, and reconciliation. In March of 2018, the former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, and I launched the Building Bridges to a New Kenyan Nation initiative. To support the same, in May of 2018, we established the Building Bridges to Unity Advisory Task Force. And this task force has now completed its work and submitted its report, a report which has elicited great public debate. The report extensively evaluates our national challenges and makes robust and comprehensive practical recommendations to address them. Indeed, as we progress to the next phase of this, I urge all Kenyans to constructively consider the recommendations therein. More importantly, let us continue to address ourselves to these issues with a view to effecting far-reaching changes that will address the perennial challenges that we have faced as a nation, the challenges of negative ethnicity, inclusion, equitable development, and indeed our fight against corruption. Honorable speakers, honorable members, fellow Kenyans, like Moses in the Bible, who sat at the top of Mount Nebo and saw the future that the people of Israel were about to cross into the promised land, I too have seen our future. This is what fellow Kenyans, is what our future looks like. A Kenya where no one will ascend to a high public office on account of their tribe. A Kenya where no capable person will wallow in poverty because of poor governance. A Kenya where our potential as a people will be exploited for the greatness of our nation. A Kenya where we will all share equitably in this prosperity of our nation. I believe our future is bright. I believe the future is beckoning us. The future is here for us to take. Indeed, a future where truly justice will be our shield and defender. Every journey, fellow Kenyans, starts with a single step, taken in faith, at times against all odds. That journey has commenced. Major changes are needed to our Constitution and other laws so as to lay the foundation for the prosperous future that we seek. As a people, we must seize this constitutional moment, as I have said, to ensure that we deliver to future generations of Kenyan the future that they deserve. Indeed, Kofi Annan once aptly reminded us as a country that this world is not ours to keep. We hold it in trust for future generations. This moment in time is our meeting with destiny. When generations come long after we are gone, let them say that we made the right decisions at this moment, that we chose unity over division, that we dreamt of and birthed a happier, more harmonious and prosperous nation. Kenya, honorable members, is greater than any individual. Indeed, Kenya is greater than the sum of its citizens. We, honorable members, are a beacon of hope, an icon of peace and stability in a very volatile region. And we must be a role model for progressive African social democracy. These qualities are not inherent. We must continuously water them from the well of our national commitment to a better, brighter, and more inclusive Kenya for all. Honorable speakers, honorable members, finally, as we seek to grow our democracy and deepen institutional synergy within government, I challenge the leadership of our two houses of parliament to strive as much as possible, please, to resolve issues of concern by consensus building. As worldwide experience shows, there is always some level of jostling to be expected between the two chambers of our national legislatures, and that happens everywhere around the world. This happens as they each seek to better exercise their institutional mandates. However, honorable members, these issues should only escalate to external dispute resolution processes as a last resort. Doing otherwise hurriedly compromises the legislative authority of the House. On our part, as the executive, we will always be at hand to aid in that consensus building and to foster internally mediated outcomes within Parliament. So, honorable members, finally let me conclude by reiterating this. The state of our nation is strong, the state of our nation is steady and resilient. Similarly, the state of our economic development is and remains on course despite unexpected disruptions to our economy and way of life, chiefly from COVID-19. With regard to our national response to COVID-19, Kenyans must remain vigilant, and by so doing, we are capable of defeating this invisible enemy. And now, honorable speakers, it is my pleasure to submit to Parliament the following three reports as required by the Constitution. 1, the report on all the measures taken and progress achieved in the realization of our national values. 2, report on progress made in fulfilling the international obligations of the Republic. And 3, the report on the state of security. Further, and in recognition of the centrality of transparency, accountability, and good governance as the anchors of sustainable development, and while also conscious of the pivotal role played by micro, small, and medium enterprises in driving growth and creating opportunities, I do have the pleasure of submitting, alongside the constitutionally required reports, the following other reports. 1, the report on ease of doing business, milestones 2017 to 2020. And 2, the annual report of the Office of Director of Public Prosecutions for the financial years 2017-18, 2018-19, 2019-20. Kwa hayo machache na mengi, Mungu awabariki na Mungu ailinde taifa letu la Kenya. Asanteni sana. Thank you very much.